Because what you, the unsung heroes in the wastewater industry, do matters. Join me, Suzan Chin-Taylor, the Diva, a longtime veteran of the wastewater, trenchless, and civil infrastructure industry each week as I deliver industry know-how from industry pros who know how. Whether you want to learn about the latest trends in technology, training and retaining great talent, sales and marketing, leadership and growth, or simply how to be more efficient, productive, or profitable, this podcast is for you. Let's dive in. Are you feeling overwhelmed by marketing and not getting the opportunities you desire and deserve? Well, you're not alone. Many businesses in our industry have struggled with this same problem until they learned and implemented what we're going to reveal in Lifting the Veil: Secrets of Top Marketers, Time-Tested Strategies, and AI Innovation. This is a very special interactive bootcamp-style workshop being presented at the upcoming 2025 WWETT in Indianapolis. In this workshop, we're going to lift the veil on proven traditional, digital, and AI strategies that generate sales, recapture lost leads, and set you up to thrive in 2025 and beyond. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your growth and achieve your business goals in 2025 and beyond. Click the link below in the show notes for more information and to reserve your seat at this very special workshop. We look forward to seeing you in Indianapolis, February 18th, 2025. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Diva Smells Like Money podcast. We are continuing our series about UV-GRP and visiting with Drew Lewis of Reline America. So welcome back, Drew, and hanging in there.
Thank you.
To share all this great knowledge that you have.
No problem.
Today, I really want to focus on some applications for UV-GRP. It's very obvious, just like other forms of, traditional CIPP. We use it for laterals. We use it for sanitary sewers and main lines. And in some cases, it can be used in large diameter. But one thing that I have been watching, in my many years in the industry, is how well suited, maybe even more so than other forms of CIPP, that UV-GRP is for stormwater applications. It almost seems like it's
absolutely
a no-brainer because of its characteristics. Now, although we have a tendency to focus on wastewater in this show, all of us know that if the stormwater system or conveyance systems are not working as they should, or they're failing, they're not going to be able to get the water where it needs to go. And in some cases, that water might wind up going into a place like the sanitary system where we don't want it to go, which of course, in a big storm event is going to cause major headaches for the wastewater treatment plant. So really, stormwater and wastewater and collection systems, they're really all tied together. I think we need to stop dividing that us and them kind of mentality about these two systems, because they really do rely on each other. And gonna get off my soapbox there, but I'll let you weigh in about.
It's funny you say that, because it's Diva Smells Like Money podcast, right?
Right.
Stormwater smells like money too.
Yes.
Let's just be honest. There's a lot of it out there. A lot of it that a lot of these municipalities, counties, DOTs, whoever's running, owning, managing those assets don't even necessarily know about. And God knows how long they've been sitting in that ground. So, you brought up a good point of how sometimes there's a combined system. And matter of fact, I believe you and I had a conversation not too long ago about some older cities in the area where I live, where they have a very, very interesting system where not only is it extremely old and it dates back to Civil War time, the sanitary system runs directly underneath the storm line. I mean, it's a big, beautiful 100-plus-year-old arch pipe made out of stone. And if you look in there, there's manholes in the bottom that lead you to the sanitary system. Very beautiful, very neat, very different, very difficult to manage, rehab, and just take care of, especially when it's something where it's a potentially historical structure. So they don't want to necessarily get rid of it. So you deal with these kind of situations all over the country. A matter of fact, probably all over the globe. But there's really a market for rehabilitation on the storm side. And the reason I say that is because a lot of these systems are old, forgotten, and a lot of them are in spots that you can't necessarily dig, like running right underneath highways. So the options for them are somewhat limited on the rehabilitation side because on a highway, you're not going to shut down the highway for God knows how long to do each and every culvert that runs underneath it. So you need to be kind of cognizant and aware of how much time do you have for each shot. But these are prime. I mean, and most of those are corrugated metal and just rotting. And so the beauty with UV-GRP is that most of the manufacturers out there right now, I know Reline America for sure, we can make a liner that'll fit all these different shapes, whether it's an elliptical pipe, arch pipe, we can line box culvert. Just, we got to get the details on it and make it specifically for you, that order. And a lot of these have that watershed that it feeds into, and it's an issue. Everyone's becoming more and more environmentally conscious, more and more conscious about water. That's a valuable resource that everyone is concerned about is water. The beauty of UV is, other than your cleaning and prep work, water is not used in the process. So it's something to keep in mind. I believe we touched on that in the last series, but it's something you definitely want to think about.
Right. Now, and the other thing is the smaller footprint, but also the fast cure is
Yeah,
true unless there's really challenging logistics. They can
sure.
be in and out very, very quickly. Because a
Yeah,
lot of times, I've heard from various folks as I've interviewed different municipalities that they have to worry about lines that maybe they haven't been able to rehabilitate them because they're in environmentally sensitive areas.
sure.
Whether it be endangered animals or plants or it's wetlands or, whatever, that they have to be very, regulators, local regulators aren't going to let
Yeah,
them do what they want to do. And sometimes they don't have a choice in what they're able to utilize because of
right.
the environment that they're in. So as far as, stormwater sizes, up to what size of pipe can UV cure, or we can be.
Sure. So Reline America can manufacture up to 72 inches in diameter. I can't speak for everyone in the market, but for us, it's 72 inches.
And if it goes beyond that, then they may be looking at some other form of
Yeah,
rehabilitation for, really super, super large pipes.
yeah. If you're going into a much bigger, I mean, if you're wanting to do anything with like glass, you're looking at either like a combo cure type situation, or you're going to go with your traditional felts. Those can get up to pretty large diameters. So it just depends again on what your allowance is for that footprint and what is around in that area that makes you determine what's the best fit for this project.
Now, how about, when you're talking about this on the last episode, you said that UVGRP, it can be a lighter weight liner. But I imagine in these larger diameter, what's that like for an installer to
Oh,
handle?
it's definitely not light. It's not light. I mean, even the small diameter is lightweight. I don't know if I'd use that phrase, but it's suckers have some weight to them. But with that being said, you're not doing a wet out on site. So everything is manufactured at, for us, it'd be our ISO 9001 certified factory. The reason we have that in place is so that everything is traceable and repeatable. It's all about quality from the second we get an order in to the second that is installed, which is why for us personally, every one of our installers goes through a certification process too, so that we know that they're all about quality as well as us. Looking at the liners in these large diameters, some of the benefits to it would be that you are getting a substantially thinner liner than you would with your felt liners. That can help with your flow. If
I was
you
just going to ask
are,
about that. How does that help with the hydraulics?
yeah, so it'll definitely help improve some of the hydraulic capacity. Obviously, no matter what, if you're adding a liner to a pipe, you're taking away some of that space inside the pipe. But there was a study done, and forgive me, I don't know the exact date, but they were having an issue with a corrugated pipe that kept backing up, and it was going underneath the highway. They couldn't dig. What they ended up doing was playing around with the idea, well, let's just line this. So, without going into full detail on who did it and all that good stuff, but it was they put in a UV-GRP liner as corrugated metal pipe, and they were able to actually increase the flow enough to where they didn't have to dig up that pipe. It was
Wow.
pretty neat. It was a really good read. So I guess it's neat because you have to decide what you want to get out of this project, right? Are you looking for just a new pipe, or is there actually a reason other than the fact that it's deteriorating under the ground? Do you need to speed up that corrugated metal pipe? You know, you put that in there because you wanted to slow stuff down. Well, now you're backing up. So what do we have to do here? So it just depends on what your total outlook on the project is and what you want to gain from this. So, benefits I think are we're not wetting out on site. We're not having to have this massive footprint, whether it's in the middle of a highway, underneath a bridge, wherever that may be. Storm lines are absolutely everywhere. I've seen them in some just crazy spots, middle of the woods. I know for us, we have applications for that specific location. It can be tricky, but you also have to realize that depending on where that outfall is going, what does the asset owner feel about that area? What are their guidelines? What are their restrictions? What do or don't they want around there? Everyone's really getting more and more conscious about the environmental side of things, and whether that be cutting down a tree to get access to get in, or God only knows what. But it's things to think about. The beauty of this particular system, the UVGRP system, is that everything is contained within that inner and outer film. And again, as long as your installer is following that manufacturer standards of practice, you're mitigating the exposure to any kind of hazards there may be in that particular rehab.
Okay. There's something else that we didn't mention, and that was maybe not for storm applications, but we're working very hard towards the BABA initiatives and meeting those. So tell us a little bit about what Reline America is doing to help cities that are trying to incorporate more BABA products into their mix
Yeah.
of using methodologies.
Yeah, so we've seen quite a few projects and an increase in demand on just the BABA requirements in general. For those of you who aren't too aware, it's the Build America, Buy America Act. Basically, what we've done is we were able to source materials in a manner that makes us meet those qualifications. So our Alpha Liner 500 does meet those qualifications currently.
That is
And yeah, so that's a pretty big thing. That'll get you 6-inch to 72-inch, but it's going to be your 1.66 million PSI for your initial flex mod on that.
wow. Well, that's good news for the industry. It's very
It is. It is. It is, and I think it's something that there's going to continue to be a demand for. I really do. Even when all of this comes to quote unquote expire, I think it's probably going to be kicked back up again. But we wanted to make sure that we're taking the steps in the right direction to at least make sure we have something to offer for those who need it.
Okay. Well, Drew, thank you again for sharing your knowledge. I love this topic
No
of
problem.
water and one water. And for those of you who tuned in, if you didn't hear from last week's episode, there is going to be a presentation at the upcoming WWETT 2025 conference in Indianapolis on Tuesday, the February the 18th from 4 to 5 p.m. in room 124 on the subject of UVGRP. And it is entitled Revolutionizing Pipeline Rehabilitation. And it is going to be an exciting panel discussion filled with industry experts from engineers, contractors, municipalities, technology providers to discuss topics regarding UVGRP, what it is, where it's going, where the market is going, criteria that you should be looking for if you want to get involved, how to specify if you want to be an installer, and you just basically anything and everything that you might want to know about this subject. So if you're planning on being at the show in Indianapolis, put that on your show planner and plan on being at that panel event. I'm looking forward to it. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it because I have to be there because guess what? I'm going to be the host. So you get to see my smiling face again, the Do Diva, talking about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, which is trenchless technology. So again, Drew, thank you for being here, and stay tuned for our next
Oh, no problem.
where we are going to be talking about UV-GRP, where the market is headed, and how to select the right materials when thinking about a UV-GRP project. So until next time, thanks for tuning in and keep it flowing. Are you feeling overwhelmed by marketing and not getting the opportunities you desire and deserve? Well, you're not alone. Many businesses in our industry have struggled with this same problem until they learned and implemented what we're going to reveal in Lifting the Veil: Secrets of Top Marketers, Time-Tested Strategies, and AI Innovation. This is a very special interactive bootcamp-style workshop being presented at the upcoming 2025 WWETT in Indianapolis. In this workshop, we're going to lift the veil on proven traditional, digital, and AI strategies that generate sales, recapture lost leads, and set you up to thrive in 2025 and beyond. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your growth and achieve your business goals in 2025 and beyond. Click the link below in the show notes for more information and to reserve your seat at this very special workshop. We look forward to seeing you in Indianapolis, February 18th, 2025. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode. If you're an industry expert and would like to be considered as a guest on the show, click the Be a Podcast guest link below in the show notes for more information. Thanks again for joining me, the Do Diva, on this week's episode of the Smells Like Money podcast.